All right, let's get this thing painted. Got some Valspar white interior paint. Gonna get all the walls, ceiling, front cabinet painted. Gonna take out these windows and paint this trim piece, so this back plate. Got some Krylon gloss of black. Gonna just wipe these down with some 90% rubbing alcohol, clean them up real good. 90% will also strip the paint. It's not super aggressive, but it will take some of the paint off. And that should help it stick. I don't feel like prepping this with any type of sanding or wire brush. I'm just gonna clean it really good and just spray it black. Also want to put in the window seals on the outside, as well as the door seals. We're gonna get the painting done first though. Drew some lines around the window so I know how far in to put the seal. It's a little wider than that, so I'd rather it stick in than stick out. And I want to stick the seal to the door so it's reusable. If I replace a window, then I have to replace the seal. All right, almost done with the paint, the edge painting. This is it's really hard covering up this dark red primer. everything's getting a second coat. So this is double the amount of work you're actually seeing here. And it's just, so I'll get this all the edges painted, and then I can roll it out, which will go a whole lot faster. So that's like one coat, and that's 2 coats. I'll probably end up with 3 in some places. Kind of liking this look right now. Looks like a barn. The red and the white. I can get used to that, I think. Well, I'll add the color later. I want to get all the primer painted. But yeah. I like the idea of trimming everything out in white and having barn red everywhere else. I think that looks cool. Alright, I'm gonna call that good for day 1 of painting. I'm gonna move on to putting the windows in permanently this time. Everything's painted around them, shouldn't have to worry about them getting messy. So I need to trim off a couple of pieces on these windows, passenger side and this driver's side corner. They got this little lip on them, and I want them to sit flat. That was for, I think the siding tucked into it. Yeah, because the window sat out a little bit on top of the siding, or on top of the exterior wall. And there's no siding here, and I think this side piece clipped into it for some reason. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that off so it sits flat. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just stick the seal on the window instead of trying to stick it on the edge. You know, it's not that big a deal. If I ever replace a window, you just go buy more window seal. Stuff's all good and dry. Alright, got those edges cut off, ground smooth. good enough for a seal. And yeah, I'm definitely going to put the seal on the RV because that's a lot cleaner and doesn't have all this weird plasticky stuff on it. It's just going to stick better to the RV. And then yeah, if I ever want to replace the window, you don't have to worry about replacing the seal. You just pop out the window, put in a new one. Razor blade, X-Acto blade, X-Acto knife. We'll do the top piece first from farthest edge to farthest edge, so there's no seams. Like right here, I want the seams down here, less likely for something to leak through. I could cut like a notch in this and bend it, but I'm not too worried about leaking. Also wipe down the surface with some rubbing alcohol. Yeah, I'm not gonna try anything complicated, I'm just gonna cut. If I find a leak later, I could always put some silicone in there or something. Just cut right on that line. Yep. Perfect. Line this up and cut it. Okay. All right, that worked out pretty well. Was able to go around the corner. Pretty easy. Yeah, I'm liking this stuff a lot. It sticks really good. Like really, really good. I had to, I did this piece first and I came all the way out to this edge and I didn't want that. I want this coming all the way down. So rainwater will come this way and not find an opening. So I had to cut back a little bit and that was really hard to remove. So I was real happy with the adhesion on that. It feels durable. MD rubber window seal. All right, I'm very happy with that. These didn't pull in as tight as the driver door did. Because there's no wall on the other side. This is that 1/2 inch plywood. So I got plenty of length or distance between the window frame and the mounting ring or mounting plate. This is squeezed in as far as it can go. You see that it's up tight against that back ring, mounting ring, but it's still pulled in really tight enough that I'm real happy with it. If I have to, I'll run a little bead of caulk or something, but I think that's gonna be just fine. Yeah, that's on there good and tight. This is on here really tight. I wish this was like that. So later on I might take the windows out and add like a piece or maybe just some more window seal on the other side just to make more of a gap between the ring and the window frame so I can pull in tighter. Project for down the road, but that looks good to me. And yeah, the driver window turned out really good. That's nice and tight. Passenger window, same thing. Didn't get as tight as the driver window, but it's tight enough. It doesn't wiggle or anything, and you know that seal is pushed up tight against that window frame, so that won't leak. I ran out of seal. Didn't get enough seal for to do the back window, so I'll go get some more of that tomorrow. I love the black rings. It looks so freaking cool. I reused the beige painted screw heads, or the screws from the original install, and those are the first to go in. I thought that looked really cool with the screw heads kind of standing out like that. I'll show you in the daytime too, so you get a better look. I don't have the cord in here right now, so the light's not plugged in. Chrome looks a little bit better, but I didn't have 3/4 inch chrome sheet metal screws. I got these 1 inches, which are a little bit longer to make up for the 1/2 inch panel there. You can see there's a lot of gap in there. Plenty of room to pull that in tight, but over here, or on these front windows, or that front corner window and this passenger window, the frame is pulled up tight against that, so I can't get that any tighter, but it's fine. I'll live with that for right now. Down the road, we'll mess with it. I still need to, I was thinking I'm just gonna fill that in with window foam, just and then paint it over or something. Something for down the road as well. I'll probably cut up a sheet of that, or a piece of that aluminum sheet, and cover that up. So yeah, boy, those look cool though. I like the gloss black on the white. Freaking bugs, just get in here now. But yeah, I really wanted to get those windows in permanently or semi-permanently. I might pop them out later if I can't find window seals to replace this stuff. And I might just go to a junkyard and find a whole window. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to. It seems like a common thing that I could find. But yeah, so these might come out at a later time. But for the most part, they are permanent. No more having to worry about taking them in or out, and that is so, oh, it's so nice. One more thing down. Windows can just stay in. After I hit the road, then we'll figure out these miscellaneous projects. See, I got these 1 inch sheet metal screws, 1 1/4 for this, for the these panels. Those will go in here soon. I'll be all done with that. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with anything really for right now with that, except just running the wires through to get back to the clearance lights. And sometime in the future, I'm gonna add some tail lights, turn signals on the body of the RV instead of just the back, the flatbed part. I like the idea of having extra turn signals. Yeah, boy. I'm real happy to see all this. Not happy with this crap. So this spray adhesive is garbage. I'll fix that tomorrow. Funny, it sticks real good, but it slowly just fails. All right, that's all I was able to get done with just 1 gallon. I'll have to go back and get another one. Wiped it clean with the brush, just so I can start on these bottom panels. So, almost there. I'll go ahead and get this rear window put in. Love the gloss black on that trim. That looks so nice. All right, quad max to save the day on that. That stuff's real sticky, really thick. And even when it's uncured, it does a good job of holding things down. In these areas, there's only a couple on this panel, I think, where the aluminum peeled up. It didn't stick very well at all. Did just a few lines of quads, stuck it down, and then caulked around the outside edge, and that seemed to work really well. Got a little messy, which is fine. I'll probably just paint them, but that's okay. Not too worried about that. Next time, that spray adhesive did actually do pretty well in a lot of areas. In most areas, actually. There was just a few. This panel did okay. It curled a little bit, but this panel had a pretty good 3-inch wide space where that spray adhesive didn't stick. But other areas did stick pretty good. I think that stuff would work great if I were to apply the aluminum and keep pressure on it for a long period of time for it, and to allow it to fully cure, which it just has a long cure time. In fact, the next time I do this, I'm going to, like on these pieces, it would have been a great idea to apply the aluminum before I stuck on the insulation. You know, like I could have put the aluminum on this piece and put a bunch of weight on it and let that cure real good. So again, a little messy, but that worked out really well. Just caulked all the edges. The parts that curled up, it was worse on the other side. This just had, I think this piece was loose and this piece had come loose as well. The other side peeled up almost halfway from the adhesive not working well anyway. So yeah, quad does really good. It sticks, it comes out real sticky, holds things together, and it cures pretty fast too. So it's you know, it's been 5-10 minutes already and everything's right where I want it. And I am happy with that. Might not even bother painting it. It doesn't, not the biggest deal. It's basement doors or maintenance access doors, so it's not like they get looked at very regularly. So yeah, happy with that. Aluminum panel or sheet, aluminum sheet stickiness problem solved. How cool is that looking? Looks like a laboratory in there or something. Just all white. Oh yeah, that is looking good. Yeah, almost 2 full gallons. That was an absolute nightmare. There's this like at least 6 coats. I quit counting at about 5 coats. There could be as many as 8. It took so much to cover up that dark red primer. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. Holy moly. And then up in here, it's still that red primer. I feel like I'm looking into Patch's guts or something. It's just all red and meaty looking. Like her intestines or something. I'll put these on soon. I want to make sure this gets good and dry so the panels don't stick. It probably will anyway, but I'm gonna give that as much time as possible. So I'm gonna run some conduit and put, I think it's called a single gang. You know, they got like a dual gang where you put 2 switches or 2 outlets or switching in an outlet. I'm just do one of those skinny junction boxes. So conduit, junction box, then I can branch off from that if I want to, like if I wanna run something for speakers. I mean, I could drill a hole and just go right through there to a speaker box, but I like the idea of just, I mean, I'm kind of going out and around, out of the way, but that's what I might do down the road. I think for right now, if I want to put those 6x9s in, they're just going to go in the dash, I think. But conduit, junction box, conduit, junction box, branch off, run power for that, for the vents if I need to. Conduit, junction box. Not sure what might come over here, but you know, lighting or whatever. Then conduit. And I'll put a junction box right on here somewhere, and those will run to multiple junction boxes where I have drilled the holes all the way through for the clearance lights. Those still need to be re-drilled, and that's how I'm going to run power, at least the 12 volt low voltage side of things. 120 volt will probably be something similar, but we'll mount the thing on the wall or down below. I think it's going to be on the wall because I don't have the remote for it. So I kind of want it to where I can see it, keep an eye on it, reset it if I need to, check power usage. So I'll probably have a hole in the floor where I have some cables come up. We'll have the inverter charger here or so. I think the shore power inlet's about here, so we'll have like a little power station. Conduit will run up and around or around to wherever I need outlets. That'll be a second set of conduits. So we'll have some like low voltage conduit running for speakers. I'd love to put some rear speakers in as well. Something for the far down the road after the shower's in. I figured everything else out. But I at least need to run some conduit for the clearance lights. And then I'll run the conduit for the 120 volt system. We'll put in the switch box for the mains, the generators. Those wires will have to run over and up. Tanks coming in first though. I want to get tanks. Wait, no. You need to do insulation mat, tanks, strap the tanks down, kind of measure things out. Probably put one side of the floor in. We'll build up the shower, drill holes for plumbing. It'll probably be 4 sections of floor. We'll do one section right here and leave these open so I can work around and get plumbing installed. We'll put shower, toilet. I actually designed up a floor plan in paint. I'll put that up on the screen right now. Give you just a basic idea what I'm thinking. Gonna do just the basics right now. We'll figure out cabinetry later. Storage and stuff will just be in totes, Tupperware totes or something. I don't know if I'll do it before I take off, but at least some point down the road I'm gonna paint the doors, repaint the doors with the Ford gray so it covers up this. Makes that look a little better, but still, once again, I am not worried about it. It is painted, it is functional, it works. Do need to go around and do some Ford grade touch up on the outside in some places. I'll try and get that done too before the rain comes. All right, let's try out this edge seal, rubber EPDM, an adhesive strip on it. Stuff actually feels really nice. All right, that is actually holding. Surprisingly, the stickiness on the back of this wasn't too impressive, and I was thinking it was going to fall off overnight, but it held and it's actually sticking pretty good. After I already applied it, I realized that this should probably be stuck on that side because of the way that the door pivots in. It wants to push on it right here, but it doesn't seem to be peeling it away or anything, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Seals very well, almost too well. Gotta really slam the door to get that to shut, but it's a good seal. And you gotta push on the door to get it to open, so. I'll have to get used to that. Very good seal though. Yeah, I'm not sure if I should try and stick it on this side. It's that gap. It's gonna give it a little less surface area to stick to, so I'm just gonna stick it to the front. It seems to work okay. I'll just hope it doesn't peel off if that stuff ever fails, which I kind of thought it would already by now, but it didn't. If it ever does, I think I'll get some more of this stuff. I don't think it's thick enough to completely seal the doors, but I think it is enough to keep out bugs and large amounts of water from like pressure washing or whatnot. It won't keep it all out, but yeah, I think if that rubber stuff ever fails, I'll just get some more of this stuff, because this was actually pretty nice. Just wasn't quite thick enough. Or maybe it is, I don't know. We'll try that if this rubber stuff doesn't work, because that held on very well. These seals do look good. I hope they last. I hope they stick. They stay stuck. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, that's sealed up really good. Get used to slamming it, which is just fine. All right, all the seals are on. Caulking is rubbing on the bottom of this. Later on, I'll either trim this smaller or grind these welds down a little bit, but it's staying put, so whatever. We'll push to shut, we'll push to open. Nice tight seal. Wipe off these Sharpie marks. They don't come completely off, but it'll be easier to paint. You know, even if there's a little left. So wipe these down. And we'll be all done with the door seals finally. I've had those for a while. I got a little bit left over. Ouch, there's a cut. There's something. A little bit left over for repairs or other things I want to use them on. Okay, not the prettiest thing there with the lines, but she'll get repainted at some point anyway, and it won't matter. Yeah, those are nice. I like them. I just hope they stay. I'm not too happy with the stickiness on them. Feels like they'll peel off, but they're, you know, they're all staying put so far. Oh yeah, that makes me happy. Doors are sealed. Maintenance access is sealed. Windows are sealed up also really good. Except for that front window that I might recalc that, or once Patches is mobile, we'll take her to a window shop and have them pull this out and put some fresh caulking in there because a chunk of this fell out. And it lifts up just a tiny bit. So yeah, that needs some resealing done. I'll see about replacing the windows at the same time. They're not horrible, but I'd like to get new windows. And I just need some edge seal right here. I could probably come up with something later on, but I'm not too worried about it. I'll just keep shoving toilet paper in there. I won't be using the windows too much since they don't have screens on them. I'll just be using the side vents. Might be doing those next. But I can also wait on those. I think I'd rather move on to doing the undercarriage paint. Or Ford Gray touch-up. There's a few places that need it. Like up there. And I need to paint around this seam sealer. Hopefully that's doing okay out in the sunlight. Seems to be okay. So, for the last week or so of nice weather, I'm going to do some undercarriage painting. At least where I've primered, like up under here. This is all really dirty, so it's going to need to be pressure washed before I do any seam undercoating under here. And I think it'll be fine for now. I'm going to save that for a project for later after I get on the road. But yeah, a couple things. A few things I want to get done for the rest of this nice weather. Steel is ordered to do these side skirts. It'll be the last larger load of steel. Might be a couple smaller things I need some steel for, but I probably have enough scrap to do any oddball things I've forgotten. Got all the steel I need for the flatbed. Just need plywood for it. You get some pressure treated 2x4s and plywood also for the upper floor. But I'm gonna do that stuff when the weather starts to go bad. Boy, isn't that a beautiful view out that window? The trees. Oh, I can't wait to have a bed in here. Soon we will be sleeping in patches once again. And boy, doesn't she look good. I didn't expect her to turn out looking this nice. Thought she'd be a little more rugged and DIY looking. This is actually looking like a piece of art, to me anyway. She looks lovely. There's a few things I'd like to do different. Like maybe replace this so it's not just a melted piece of conduit, but I think it looks good enough. I just don't like the kinks. But who knows, we'll see what that all looks like when she's completely done. Maybe it'll just add to her character. But this looks really nice. I really like the gloss black on these window frames. I wasn't expecting that to look so good. The black on the white. White walls are really nice. Oh, so glad to be done with the painting. That was horrible. So many coats. But was worth it. Nice. And these don't feel like they don't have as much heat coming through them as they did before. It's still a little warm at those bolts. I don't know, maybe it's just about the same as the walls. I think everything's kind of just warm because it's like 80 degrees outside right now. Yeah, everything's just kind of warm. Doesn't really matter what it is. It's all very warm right now. So yeah, these screw heads, I mean, still have a little bit of extra heat coming through them because they're drilled into the steel frame, which is attached to the outside sheets of steel. But I think that helped a lot getting those like primered and multiple coats of paint. And yeah, later on I could try something with doing a little more insulation, or maybe do some trim work over these, which might look kind of fancy. Later on though, do that later on. Right now I think that is going to work just fine. Gonna let these sit out here in the heat. Get good and dry. They've been sitting in the garage, which is a little bit cooler. I still feel a little little bit like they could go for a, you know, another day of curing. So we'll let the paint get good and dry before we're putting those on, or maybe I'll just put one on and leave one open so I can reach in and get the wiring done. Anyway, lots coming up. Stay tuned, everybody. We're getting closer and closer every day.